Good morning. That's why we struggle to finish the many projects that we start. And that's because dopamine, it's not necessarily about the reward, it's about the anticipation of reward. And really, if we're looking at the curve of dopamine release, most of the dopamine gets released in the planning stage and at the start of addressing an issue of a project, and it slowly goes down. And when you get at the end of the project, you usually have an opiate-like response of ugh. And after, depending on what you achieved, you have a serotonin release, which allows you to be grateful and appreciate and really recover from the stress of that. But the issue lies in our pattern recognition, as we see the end of the project in our head before we physically finish or deal with the issue. And a lot of cases, that's why there's a lot of 80% finished projects out there, as the dopamine completely goes off as soon as you see the project finish in your head, and therefore the motivation to work on it also goes away. A solution I found for myself, and then tried it with many people over the years that I work with, is that having a rotation of projects that you end up working on tends to allow you to make more progress. What I mean by that is, rather than always starting a new project because you want the novelty and that increase of dopamine during the planning and start of a new project, and then never finishing it and having 10 different projects that just become a source of anxiety, you have a rotation of 4 different projects that, as soon as the stimulation or the novelty runs out on one of the projects, you go to the next one. But then when you get to the 4th one, you don't start the 5th one, you just go back to the 1st one, which will allow you to have more consistency and actually getting to progress on the many projects that you would like to eventually finish. Take this as a call for you to go check on those projects that are sitting in the back of your cupboard or basement somewhere, because you bought a lot of things for it and seeing them was making you feel guilty, so you hid them away. But you see, if you start tinkering a bit again, the dopamine might return, and you might even get enough to actually finish a project and enjoy that feeling of gratefulness that comes with serotonin. And another thing that I'm sure is going to be grateful, it's going to be your bank account, for you to not end up spending more on things that you don't necessarily need right now. Something to think about. Protect your peace.